Dear students, physics class 2 nuclear physics, in which we are going to learn fundamentals of nucleus. So in the previous class we learned, and in today's class let us see what are the things. Isotopes. The nuclides of a particular element having same proton number but different mass number are called isotopes. So here you can see the example 6C10, 6C11, 6C12 and 6C14. So in all these carbon element 6, 6, 6, all these are having same proton number but the mass number it is different, that is 10, 11, 12 and 14. So similarly here 2 helium 3, 2 helium 4, in which 2, 2 here also same but the mass number is 3 and 4. So 3, 3 lithium and it is mass number is 6 and 7. So these are known as isotopes. Note, dear students, so in isotopes the chemical properties of isotopes of an element are identical but their physical properties may differ. So that is, if you take all these 4 isotopes of a carbon, all these 4 exhibit the same chemical property but their physical property is different. Here also the helium atoms exhibit the same chemical property but the physical property is different. Okay. Next is isobars. The nuclides of different element having same mass number but different atomic number are called isobars. So here you can see example 1 H3, 2 He3, 3 lithium 7, 4 beryllium 7, etc. See here 3, 3 in these two helium atoms, that is mass number is same but atomic number is different. So here also lithium and beryllium, here 7 is 7, here also the mass number is same but the different atomic number 3 and 4. So these are known as isobars. So next, isotones. The nuclides of different elements having same number of neutrons but different atomic number are called isotones, dear students. Clear? So here you can see 4 beryllium 9, 5 beryllium 10, 6 C13. So in this beryllium and beryllium, if you find the total number of neutrons, then it is equal to 5. This is also equal to 5 neutron number. Okay, but the different atomic number, here it is 4, here it is 5, so like this. So here also 6C13, if you find the neutron number it is 7, here also if you find the neutron number 7. Okay, so therefore, but the atomic number is 6 and atomic number is 7. So these are known as isotones, dear students. Okay, now next, another interesting property, size of the nucleus. By Rutherford scattering of an alpha particle, the volume of the nucleus is equal to 4 by 3 pi r cube, that it is directly proportional to mass number A. So therefore R is directly proportional to A raised to 1 by 3, or just it is a proportionality constant we introduce, R is equal to R naught A raised to 1 by 3, where R naught is known as empirical constant. Okay, its value is 1.2 into 10 raised to 5 meter. So now, dear students, so from this it shows that the size of the nucleus depends on, that is mass number, that is the number of protons and neutrons numbers are more than the size of the nucleus is also bigger. So heavier nuclei are bigger in size than the lighter nuclei, and the size of the nucleus is in terms of Fermi. So therefore 1 Fermi is equal to 10 raised to minus 15. Okay, next property, nuclear density. So again the density is found by mass per unit volume of the nucleus. Therefore, volume of the nucleus, we just found 4 by 3 pi r naught cube into A. You just substitute this expression here in place of r, you will get this thing. Then rho is equal to mass of the nucleus 1.66 into 10 raised to minus 27 into A divided by 4 by 3 pi r naught cube A get cancelled. So if you substitute the constants, you will get 2.38 into 10 raised to 17 kg per meter cube. In a 1 meter cube, how much mass it is included? That is 2.38 into 10 raised to 17, dear students. So imagine how dense this nuclear density is. So note, nuclear density is independent of mass number of an atom. Nuclear density of all atoms is same. So it shows that more number of protons and neutrons number is there, or mass number is there, then the nuclear density is more or less. It is not like that. So it does not depend. It is independent of mass number of an atom. Every nucleus is almost having the same density. It may be, the nucleus may be smaller, lighter or heavier nucleus. Okay. Then the second is nuclear density is about 10 raised to 13 times the average density of the Earth. Imagine. It is 10 raised to 13 times the average density of the Earth. So it is so much dense, dear students. Okay. So next property is mass defect. Mass defect is defined as the difference between the mass of the constituent nucleons of the nucleus in the free state and the mass of the nucleus. So basically, mass defect also defined as it is the difference between the theoretical mass and the actual mass is known as mass defect. In the sense, theoretical mass can be found by mass of the proton Z into Mp, mass of the neutron A minus Z into Mn. Okay, Mn is the mass of neutron, Mp is the mass of the proton. So therefore, theoretical mass of the nucleus becomes Z into Mp plus A minus Z into Mn. So that thing is the theoretical mass. Okay. If M is the actual mass of the nucleus, then the mass defect, actual mass is less than the theoretical mass. Dear students, actual mass is less than the theoretical mass. There is a difference in the actual mass and theoretical mass. So therefore, that is known as the mass defect. Mass defect is equal to delta M is equal to theoretical mass minus actual mass. Clear? So next property, nuclear binding energy. The total energy required to disintegrate the nucleus into its constituent particles is called binding energy of the nucleus, or nuclear binding energy. In the sense, the nucleus is composed of protons and neutrons. Due to strong nuclear force, all these are bounded together in the nucleus. So it is enormous amount of energy is required to disintegrate that nucleus. So therefore, the binding energy of the nucleus is very much strong. So how much is the binding energy? The total energy required to disintegrate the nucleus into its constituent particles is called binding energy of the nucleus, or nuclear binding energy. So therefore, according to Einstein's mass energy relation, E is equal to mc square. So binding energy EB is equal to delta M into c square. That is the mass defect. So what we found here, the mass defect in the nucleus, that mass defect is converted into energy in order to bind all those constituent particles of the nucleus. So therefore, EB is equal to delta M into c square, where delta M is the mass defect. So therefore, EB is equal to delta M into 931 MeV. Okay, million electron volt. Next property of the nucleus is nuclear forces. So Coulomb's electrostatic force or gravitational force cannot keep the nucleons inside the nucleus for a small size. So then, to account for the stability of the nucleus, concept of new force called nuclear force was given by the Japanese physicist Yukawa. So this nuclear force was assumed to be a very strong attractive force of magnitude greater than the Coulomb's repulsive force. So Yukawa predicted that the nuclear forces arise due to the exchange of particles known as pi mesons between the nucleons. So pi meson is a fundamental particle whose mass is 270 times the mass of the electron. So pi mesons are of three types: pi plus, pi minus, and pi 0. So here, dear students, nuclear force, you already studied all those things. So Coulomb's attractive force or a repulsive force or a gravitational force, these forces cannot keep these nucleons inside the nucleus in a very small size, and so much tightly they are bounded. So therefore it made the physicists to think about the nuclear forces. Hence Yukawa predicted, so there are strong attractive force of magnitude greater than the Coulomb's repulsive force arises inside the nucleus, that is due to the exchange of the particles known as pi mesons. Okay, so these things you already studied, hope. Let us see the properties of the nuclear forces. Nuclear force is a strong fundamental force in nature. Second one, nuclear force is mainly attractive in nature. Third one, nuclear force is charge independent. Fourth one, nuclear force is short range force. So this is a very short range force. It arises only in the nucleus and remains only in the nucleus. Then fifth one, the nuclear force is a saturated force. Sixth one, nuclear force is an exchange force. It arises due to the exchange of the pi mesons. Nuclear force is a non-central force, just like a gravitational force. Gravitational force is a centralized force, but nuclear force is a non-central force. Eighth one, nuclear force is spin-dependent force. So these are the properties of the nuclear force. So let us study radioactivity. The phenomenon of spontaneous emission of radiation by heavy elements is called radioactivity. The elements which shows this phenomena are called radioactive element. That is, you all know very well, that is the uranium. It is the most famous element in the radioactivity. So that is uranium. Radioactivity was discovered accidentally by Henry Becquerel, that is Attorney Henry Becquerel, in 1896. He noted that uranium element, that is Z is equal to 92, gave out some invisible rays or radiation that can penetrate through thick black paper and affect photographic plate. The same was confirmed several months later by Pierre Curie and Marie Curie. So for this discovery they got the Nobel Prize. That is the different thing. But radioactivity, a naturally occurring heavy elements, emits some radioactive rays, so that it is known as radioactivity. Okay, so cause of radioactivity. The instability of heavy nuclei is the cause of radioactivity. Binding energy per nucleon goes on slowly decreasing for a nuclei having mass A greater than 140. It means that heavy nuclei are unstable. Electrostatic repulsion of protons badly affects the nuclear force binding energy and thereby makes the heavy nucleus unstable. Dear students, we all know that if there are two charges, positive, they repel each other. positive negative they attract each other, negative negative they repel each other. So in nucleus what happens, if the nucleus is very heavy then the proton number is more. So due to the due to electrostatic force of repulsion between the proton and proton, that becomes more dominant than the strong nuclear force of attraction. So therefore heavy nucleus becomes, that is, loosely bounded. So therefore due to that loose bounding they emit the radioactive. So they become the radioactive and start emitting radioactive rays there. Okay, and you all know that is the neutron is unstable. So if the loosely bound neutron or a free neutron is exist in the nucleus, it is a very unstable. It directly convert into some other radioactive particle and emit from the nucleus. So till now we learned the fundamentals of nuclear physics that already you studied in PUC Science second year. We just recapitulated those things. So yet we have not started our syllabus. So this is just an refreshing your mind about the nuclear physics. Okay, dear students, we stop here. We continue the syllabus. We start the syllabus in the next class. Okay, stay home, stay safe. Thank you.